Okay, I think we're on now.
Can you hear us?
Hi, Maritza. Hi, Marianne.
Please tell us you can hear us.
Please, please. Okay, Sherry can hear you. Maritza can hear us. Diane can hear us. Tina can hear us. Well, that's all the important people. I can hear us. So,
Good morning, everybody, and happy Father's Day weekend.
oh gosh, is it?
I'm not sure if we got too many fathers out there, but if we do, happy Father's Day.
If you were a father, if you have a father, if you identify as a father, happy Father's Day.
Let's start by some introductions. We don't need to really introduce Colleen. Everybody knows Colleen. She's moderating for us, not the bids. She is going to be moderating the yard sale items.
Ooh, there's going to be a yard sale?
Yes. And
why would we want to do that?
Charlie, my granddaughter that moderated the bids last time, is at a family reunion, and I couldn't talk her out of it. So I have another granddaughter. I've only got 17, so we've only been through 2 so far. So another one of my granddaughters is with us today. Her name is Alexis.
Yes,
Say hello to everybody, Alexis. She's not mic'd, but she is on the chat.
Well, she's just across the way.
And
if she says it loud, they can hear her.
She's in another room so that her computer will have, hopefully, very close to the same lag that everybody else's computer has.
Say hi out loud, Alexis.
Really loud.
No, she came. she came across.
Anyway, she will be moderating the bids for us. And so it is 10 o'clock. We will explain quickly how the bidding will work for anybody who might be new. Bids start at $10. We'll bring out an orphan, one of the ones you saw in the pictures. Steve will introduce the orphan, and after he's introduced just what it is, the type of orphan that it is, he will start a 3-minute timer. As soon as the timer starts, you can start bidding. You just type your bid into the chat. They have to be in $1 increments. Starting bid needs to be at least 10. And they go up in $1 increments, but you don't have to hit every dollar. You just bid what you want. When the timer hits 0, 10, this is where Alexis comes in because she's watching her computer. She will identify what the high bid was at the point that that timer hits 0. You need to be aware of the lag issue.
We shortened it.
It might look like you're the high bidder, but because of lag, you didn't quite mesh with the timer. So we will go with what Alexis announces, and then if you're pretty sure that there was a mistake made, you email me, and I go back through the replay and check them. If a mistake is made, then I make good on you. It's happened once or twice before, and I was able to, I can't duplicate the orphan because they're one of a kind, but I can duplicate the type of orphan and usually the dress-up bag. So we'll make good. We'll make sure everybody is happy. So if anything happens during the auction that has you concerned, please email me. We're very, very much into making sure everybody is happy.
Except me. She doesn't care if I'm happy or not.
I do.
Well,
since it's Father's Day.
That's because it's Father's Day, yes.
The other thing I always forget to announce is that the dress-up bags are a flat rate. They are $12. They are in addition to your bid amount for the auction, but they are optional. At this point in time, we have made the assumption that everybody wants the dress-up bag. If you do not want it, again, make sure you put it in the comments here or email me or just say that you were bidding on the orphan only and you don't want the dress-up bag. Otherwise, we just assume everybody wants the dress-up bags and they show up on your invoices. I try to get the invoices out today, the same day, for any auctions that you've won. The only thing that interferes with that is loss of our internet connection and YouTube not putting up the replays so that if I question something, I can hurry and check it. We like to have payments made over the next 48 hours. If that's a problem, again, just please email me. We work with people on this, and then we mail your orphans out to you usually within 24 hours of getting the payment. So I know one group will go out Monday. A few of the stragglers might go out on Tuesday, you know, whatever. Any questions? Any questions on how the auction works?
Yep. And
hey, I got that in 3 minutes.
I'm impressed. Faster than I could have done it. They put your email address up. Good. Okay. Way to go, Colleen.
Well, I'm better on emails than Steve is, but Steve's better with phone calls and texts.
Giddy Gumpkins. Giddy,
okay.
We have a question.
Yeah.
Giddy, you need to hit the subscribe for HomeStrung Jewelry. Go ahead and subscribe. Well, of course, she's in the chat.
Yeah, but it wouldn't let me chat. She's chatting now.
Yeah. Oh, well, she figured it out. Wow, I am so stupid. I was up at 2:30 finishing this up. Then Debbie got up about 4:30 just because she was stressed out.
As announced, we do have some yard sale items that have been inserted periodically through the auctions. I don't think you'll have any trouble understanding those when they hit. We have made the first few auctions where there's a duplicate. We call them twins, triplets, or duplicates. We do have some second chance auctions. We've put them later into the auction. If we say it's a second chance, and we will reiterate it, a second chance auction is where after we have done the first orphan, we have a duplicate bag and a second orphan that looks an awful lot like that first orphan, and you'll bid again, but only people who have not won a bid so far today are allowed to bid on a second auction. This is to give some people who are trying to win a bid on an auction an opportunity to do so. So those are a little bit more towards the end. All right, now okay. I think I got everything.
Melanie, I don't mind if you bid while you're making lunch, but Patty, be careful while you're driving. I don't want to do anything. One other thing that Debbie didn't mention was that all of the, I've got to take my headset off. I'm listening to myself talking at like about a half a second interval. Anyway, the findings bags today are all the same. They are antique silver, and in fact, let me show you what they look like.
Yeah, we have added a findings bag to all of the auction bags. That they come in their own little organza bags. So with each auction, you're now going to get 2 dress-up bags, one with your beads, and this set of findings.
Oh gosh, drive carefully, Patty, please.
So what we have here on the findings, since Steve isn't jumping in,
I couldn't get a word in.
We have a yard of Figaro chain in antique silver. I like Figaro chain, and this is a more delicate. I don't like real heavy type ones, so this is more delicate. You will find a clasp. This time it is a hook and eye clasp. There will be a bell appropriate to the type of stone you win. Most of the stones are drilled at the top, front to back, so it will be a pinch bell, but we do have 2 cabochons, and if you win the cabochon auction, it will be replaced with a glue-on bell, which works better for a cabochon.
Yes.
There is a set of stud earrings in stainless steel.
They're a flower with a little loop.
I have made a lot of earrings from these, and I have glued a little tiny flat back in the center of that flower to help customize it. They turn out really cute. There is a set of some metal barrel carved beads. Yeah,
the little beads, the separators. I love these barrels. I just like separators that are interesting, and they have a beautiful little pattern on them.
They're just a small spacer bead, but they're kind of fun. Then my favorite, I've been holding on to these, waiting for it.
Holding them on to the point that I didn't know they existed.
Anyway, there will be a pair of these infinity links.
Or figure eights.
That have a little ladybug on them and multicolored seed beads in them. And then a pair of the turtle links, same thing, multicolored. I fell in love with these. So,
I love the little black beads for eyes.
and I couldn't get enough to put into a subscription box, so that's why they're in the auction.
You get them today. No, they're not sunglasses. They're buggy-eyed turtle eyes. So.
And then we have the bead caps and some jump rings, and the head pins are stainless steel, and they are a little bit heavy duty. You can do a wrap loop on them, but I would say you better be used to doing wrap loops so you're not learning on something that's as heavy as this. But they will also hold really well if you just want to do turned loops.
Okay.
So I've done both on these head pins, but stainless steel tends to be a little bit stiffer than some of the alloys are. So every auction today will have this dress-up bag included, so we're not going to go over it each time.
So are we ready to begin?
We are ready to start.
Ready for the first stone?
Ready for our first orphan.
Okay, so this will be a 3-minute bid. And the first stone, this is Takeko. And Takeko is a beautiful bamboo agate oval. What was that, Debbie?
Timer.
Now, I'll put it on. I was going to introduce it first. Give me a second. All right, I changed the timers today. There we go. The timer is going. Okay, bamboo agate, sometimes called bamboo leaf agate because of the leaf patterns. Bamboo agate is one of my favorite of all the stones. This is a natural, and I've never seen one this kind of orangey color before.
It is kind of rare. Usually your bamboo agates are whites, creams, off-whites.
Yeah, it originally came from India, but it has gone everywhere, all over the world, discovered all over the world now. But it's just kind of a fun stone. The beads that go with this. Okay, first off, we have 8mm sunstone rounds. There's 20 of them. These are actually an A grade.
Every bead will have that sunstone flash in it when we say that they're A grade.
We have 6mm sunstones. Let me try to stay on camera. And then we have some peach adventurine in 4mm. Let's get this up nice and close. Then we have our famous crystal discs. And these are just a fun A grade again. What color would you call that? It's kind of a peach color also. But
it has now the whole white, but it has a very slight gold.
I think it's but it's got a pearlescent finish to it too.
Beautiful. They flash like crazy. And
then we have some 6x4. These are rondelles. There's 25 of those. And then Debbie put these together for everybody. This is a combination. This is going to be in every one of the kits. These are 4mm glass pearls and then a 4x3 crystal rondelle that's going to be in here. Now let's
20 of each, so that's a strand of 40 beads.
Okay, let's see what we've got in. Please, 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 where is it? I'm going to have to stop my timer. I can't get rid of this screen.
You know, he spent the last 2 or 3 days testing this to make sure that it was going to work and that we weren't going to have any hitches. But until you actually go live, you know, you don't always know what might crop up on you.
Okay. Everything. Here, and don't do this at the end of the timer, Alexis. We're going to go ahead and talk through this and tell you what's in here. Everything. Sorry about that. I changed one thing today and that messed it all up. Okay, first off, right in the middle, we have one impression Jasper focal coin that's 24mm. And then above that, there are 4 opalite flowers, 16mm. I love these. And then 8 sunstone faceted coins, which is over to the left. It's a 10mm. It's an A grade. And then directly below that, we have some peach adventurine rondelles. Going clockwise, we have 8 sunstone cuboids that are 10 by 7 millimeters, and directly above that, we have 20 sunstone hishis. These are 4 by 2 millimeters, and again, they are an A grade. And let's see what we've got here. Here is everything together with all of the different beads, all the findings, everything together. And let's give you about 5 more seconds. I'll count it down, and then we will finish it up. Looks like right now the high bid is 36 from Melanie. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The bidding has closed. And if I had to guess, I'd say Fran. Nope. We'll wait for Alexis to tell us. Yeah, now there was a couple of bids that came in after, but it's when we finish, when the timer stops or when I say stop. And that's why we have Alexis in the other room. So it looks like Fran. Ah, there you go, Alexis. Super. You're figuring this out better than me. All right, let's go to the next one. And I think the lag is a lot better today. So here is our second stone for the day, which is a sage amethyst. And let's get the timer going this time so Debbie doesn't have to remind me. Everyone loves a good sage amethyst, and this is Yolanda, which is a Spanish name, means violet flower. Very, very appropriate. I love the pattern on this particular stone. It's 45 by 23 millimeters, 7 millimeters thick. Amethyst is said to promote calm. I should have kept this one with me all morning because I'm just a tiny bit hyper. I think it's from a lack of sleep. But anyway, it will foster creative output, brilliant ideas, dedicated work. This was considered, or amethyst rather, was considered a precious stone until, gosh, within the last century when a committee got together and decided it wasn't anymore. It was too common. All right, the stones that come with this, we have 8 millimeter. This is, a light amethyst round. And then we have, pull this out of here. We have another 6 millimeter. This is a dark amethyst, nice contrast. And then we have one kind of in between, a 4 millimeter amethyst. Our discs, these are a 8 by 6 A grade, half-plated purple. It's really nice. And then we have our 6 by 4s. Yep, half-plated again. And then finally, we have, put it right there on top.
And see how well everything matches.
Yes, it matches really well, Debbie. You did good. Please, please, please work. Ah, there it is. Here's what's in the findings bag. Okay, first off, we have a sage amethyst, twisted rectangle focal that's 30 by 15 millimeters. And directly to, or below that, it says 3 amethyst briolette drops, but there are 4 in there. These are 14 by 10, A grade.
If you look at the very end amethyst, you'll notice it doesn't come to a really, really sharp point. I don't believe it was broken. It's just not really, really sharp, but because it didn't, the point didn't match the other three, it's a freebie.
Talk fast. It's timer's going. Okay, to the upper right-hand corner, we have 5 sage amethyst ovals, and then we have below that 25 amethyst faceted rondelles, 4 by 3 millimeter. These are in A grade. And then going clockwise, skipping over those briolettes, we have 6 amethyst rectangles, 12 by 8. This is an A grade. And above that, we have 8 amethyst faceted hearts that are 10 millimeters. And here is everything together. I'm going to count this one down too because I've been off a little bit. So I'm going to give you everybody an extra 5 seconds. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if I had to guess, I'd say Tina got that, but let's see.
Got it at 32.
Yeah, Tina got it at 32. Sorry, Tina, you outbid yourself, which is okay by us, but we'll go with the lower one if that's okay. All right.
Moving now on to one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, these are the Dragon Blood Jasper. This one's a heart. So let's get the timer going. All right, this is Lilong. It's a Chinese name, means beautiful dragon gem. Very, very appropriate. This heart, this dragon blood heart is 37 by 42 by 8 millimeters. When Debbie's looking for hearts or for dragon bloods to bring to the auction, she always looks for a beautiful red pattern. And this one certainly has it. It said that the green color represents the tough skin of the dragon, symbolizing strength and courage. The red part is the dragon's blood, which symbolizes the fiery passion, love, and courage of the dragon.
A lot of the dragon blood I've been looking at lately, the green is a lot darker, and it's harder to tell the difference between the green and the red. This is one of my old stock orphans, and the green is just a little lighter, so the contrast is beautiful.
Yep, time's running out. 8 millimeter dragon blood Jasper rounds. These are an A grade. And then we have 6 millimeter dragon blood rounds as well. I'm having to pull these out of a little tiny container. And then we have 4 millimeter. There are 35 of the 4 and 25 of the 6. These are all A grade dragon blood Jasper rounds. Then we have our crystal discs, which are, this looks like a pearlescent finish in a pale green. The 4x6 rondelles, 25 of them. And I hope you can see the color through all the flash. And then we have this strand of glass pearls and the little 4x3 crystal rondelles. A lot of beautiful color in that flash too. There's everything together. And now let's look at what's in the findings bag. There it is, except that's the wrong one. Let's move to the next one. There we go. Okay, inside the findings bag, we have one blood jasper focal oval, which is 24 by 17. And then directly to the upper right of that is 5 fancy jasper ovals that are 18 by 13. These are an A grade. And then over to the left, you have 5 dragon's blood jasper stars in 15 millimeter. And again, this is an A grade. You all know I like stars. And then going back again over to the right in the middle, we have 6 rainbow jasper hearts in 12 millimeters, but I think they go really well with the whole set. And then back over to the left, we have 10 impression jasper tubes that are 13 by 4. And then down in the bottom, we have 10 rainbow jasper lentils. These are 8 millimeters, and they are also an A grade. And here is everything together. I don't think we talked about the little, the Tilas. There's a package of Tila. Super Duos, not Tilas.
We'll have a tube of Super Duo beads. Those are the little 2-hold ones that you're seeing. They come in a tube. There's approximately 100, more or less, a few.
Okay.
In that tube.
We're going to count it down. So it's 5, 4, 3. Oh, she'd already declared the winner. Okay. Okay, good girl. She's following her instructions. You taught her well, Debbie. All right, next. Ooh, here comes some of my favorites. Of course, all of them are my favorites.
But yeah, we forgot to mention that every auction package has those Super Duos. They're not minis, they're the full.
Yeah, they're full Super Duos. So they're not super dupers, they're not super minis, they are just super duos. Okay, next we have plume agates. This particular one is a teardrop, and so the timer has started. This is Chandra, which is a Sanskrit name, which means moon and connects to the moonflowers that bloom under moonlight. Kind of a long translation for such a cute little short name. These are one of my favorite stones. These are, of course, part of the dendritic family, but I just like how it looks like leaves or feathers that form inside, or blossoms, any number of these things. And with this, we need bigger containers, Debbie.
Or smaller hands.
Smaller hands. All right, frosted rose quartz, 8mm rounds in A grade. We have 6mm. These are a cherry blossom jade, is what these are called. They're beautiful. And then we have, I've got the wrong one. Here we go. The 4mm are a rose quartz round. There are 35 of those again. And somewhere in here are the discs. These discs, they have an interesting finish to them because it almost has a pink reflection that comes off of them as part of the finish, though there are other colors there as well.
It's a very, very pale pink crystal with an AB plating on it.
And then the 6x4 crystal rondelles are a pale pink and translucent. And then we've got our set of pearls and crystals. And there's everything together. And let's see what's in the findings bag. Oh, there we go. Okay, the focal on this particular one is a pink Peruvian opal. That's a faceted focal. What was that, Debbie?
I said they can't hear me.
They can't.
I
You lost
my
your
mic.
microphone.
Is that better?
22x16. Then there are above it, there are 5 pink jade stars, 13mm. And then over to the left, let's go counterclockwise, 6 rose quartz briolette drops. These are in A grade, and they're 12x8. Below that, we have 10 rose quartz hearts, 10mm. And then continuing around, we have 20 moonstone faceted cubes that are 4mm. And then we have a set of 10 rose quartz rondelles, 8x5. And then we have a bonus, which is 20 star-cut agates that are 8mm.
They're in a separate bag. They actually are a bonus to this auction.
And there's everything together. And I think I left enough seconds that we can finish up the bidding on this without having to do anything else. Anyway, again, you can see the Tilas down there.
The duos.
The duos. I'm sorry. I've got Tila on the brain today. So we're counting down 1 second. The auction is over.
Okay, Cherie, yay, you won that at 40. Congratulations.
Okay, now we maybe didn't explain, and we need to. We have, oh gosh, I thought the orphan was lost. We have a lost orphan. Okay, Amber Alert, everybody. Nope, I found it. Okay, and I will wait just a second before I start the timer, because this is one of our twins. And for some reason, I don't, there it is. Okay, so I'm only going to do a 1.5 minute timer for this one because you've already seen the shape bag. And so we're going to start the timer right now for 1.5 minutes. Bidding will be a little faster. The findings bag, the shape bag is exactly the same. All of the other stones that come with it are exactly the same. But this is, actually this one's Chandra. I had it wrong on the other. But the plume agate is, it's not actually a true agate because it doesn't have the layered bands. But that's okay. It's still pretty and it has features. It's a chalcedony just the same.
It's layered, but not in bands. You get a three-dimensional look, but they form, instead of forming lines and layers, you get flowers and blossoms and feathers and clouds.
Which is a dendritic structure.
Yeah.
And yet, you know, they say it's not a true agate, and yet you see agate features in these sometimes. You'll sometimes see what appears to be bands, or you'll even see a tiny bit of druzy
No, this
sometimes.
is not a second chance. This is
Nope.
what we're calling a twin, a duplicate. Everybody
can
allowed to
bid. Everybody can bid on these. We'll tell you if it's a second chance. One thing that differentiates these, we've been calling them twins or sisters, is that they aren't necessarily exactly the same shape. On the second chances, we try to make them look the same.
And the other reason for this is the requests I get for more of the same type of bag is significant enough that this is one way
Okay,
to
time is
put
up.
another bag.
That's the time. Time is up.
This is a way to duplicate the bags and make some still available. Did you show the final picture with?
Oh no, I didn't. You should all see the final picture.
Yeah, you should have put that up for the last 30 seconds.
I'm sorry. I was sitting there trying to fill the time.
Hello, Ursula. Yeah, you won that.
Well, you get to see
On
it.
its way to Canada for
I will tell you.
$40.
I will tell you. The teardrop was not Chandra. It was Sakura, which means cherry blossom, which also I think is appropriate. Okay. Let's get rid of this and get rid of this, and we are going to have the first yard sale item. Okay, now the yard sale items, this is not a bid, but you will be receiving.
These are just a fixed rate. We're going to show you what they are. If you want one, you just put it in the chat. There is kind of a rule going here. You're welcome to ask for more than one. No problem there. However, we will meet all of the requests with one first. Then if there are still additional items left over, if you've asked for 2 or 3, we'll just keep going, for as many as we can. Now, this is where Colleen is coming in. She's going to moderate the requests for these since they're a fixed rate item.
By the way, good point, Giddy, on about the definitions. In fact, I think sometimes people just make things up at some point. But anyway, this first item are glass pearls. You get the entire container.
Including the container.
Which all by itself is probably worth the price of $3, which is discounted down from $6. We have 12 sets available. And there's not a timer. Just tell us if you want one.
$3 a set. That is half price. That makes, there's 2 full strands. They're 8 millimeter in size. They were already kind of pre-mixed in these pretty colors together. So,
okay, Tina wants one. Just put down, they're $3 a set, please.
They're $3 a set. I have 12.
Okay, so Jan, did you want one set?
One set.
And we will just talk about random things for just a second while we let people decide what they want. Okay, so Jan wants one.
So basically it works out to be about $1.50 a set. These are a really high grade glass pearl. You can see, because you can see the holes.
Misty's
There's no
here.
flaking.
I didn't see Misty.
The coloring or anything like that.
Yeah, they're a decent quality. I mean, these aren't Swarovski.
They're not a shell pearl, but
and they're not
really
a shell
pretty,
pearl, which shell pearls I actually is my personal favorite, but these are a glass pearl. So Misty Marinar will give everyone just a couple more seconds, and then we will move on to the next orphan and adoption auction orphan. I think that's it. Nice to see you, Misty.
Yes.
I didn't see you come in.
That worked out to be, what, 3 cents a pearl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great. All right, let me put this
back to auctions.
Back to auctions, which is why everyone really came. This is Lana. It's a Hawaiian name, and I will start the timer, Debbie, as soon as I find it. There we go. And Lana is a dragon vein agate teardrop, 48 by 35 by 9 millimeters. This is a substantial stone. Lana means mountain mist, by the way. I sometimes, you got a little druzy on the back. But anyway, these are actually, they're a natural stone, but then it is cracked using chemicals and heat and cold in order to do this. But it's just one of my favorite stones. And what have we got inside? We have 8mm green banded agate. This is an A grade. And then we have just a green banded agate in 6mm. And then for our 4mm stone, these look like a faceted. Yes, they're green agate faceted rounds. There are 35 of those. I love the banded agates. And then we have kind of a soft green crystal disc with a pearlescent finish. And then your 4x6 rondelles, there are 25 of those. And they're also kind of a, what'd you call that, a mint green, Debbie?
Mint green with a half-plated gold AB.
And then we have our little glass pearls and crystals, and there's everything together. And let's look and see what there we go. This is what comes with it. We have a focal, which is one praise, Jasper focal coin. I love praise. And then directly above that to the right, we have 5 praise ovals that are 18 by 13. And then down below that, we have 15 moss agate plum blossoms. No, they aren't.
Yeah, they are.
Excuse me. No, they are. No. You've got 5 aquamarine quartz flowers.
Yeah,
is down below that. Sorry, I was going to say the size doesn't match. That's 13mm. Down along the bottom, we have 25 green agate hishis that are 4 by 2mm. And then we have the 15 moss agate plum blossoms. And above that, we have 6 chrysocolla coins, which is one of my all-time favorite stones. It's getting hard to find.
Yes, they have holes, Jan. Everything does.
Everything has holes, except
we'll
the cabochons.
Tell you if anything's a cab.
Yeah. Anyway, here's everything together. Takes particular attention to what I've been calling telas that are super duos, how that color matches in and blends with the chrysocolla and with the stones that are a little greener. I just think
the orphan here has a touch of blue, so I added some blue touches to the dress-up bag.
Yep, timer is up. And we have a winner, Alexis. Melanie.
Won that at 48, and then she outbid herself.
And then you outbid yourself. I just lost my microphone.
Melanie at 48. Congratulations, Melanie.
Sorry about the dead air. Okay, let's get everything back to normal here. And let's see the next stone, which is a beautiful upside down picture jasper. This is Hatea. And there's the timer. Bidding is started. Hatea is a Native American name, which means footprint in the sand. Very appropriate because picture jasper has always reminded me of like sand paintings or of the desert, pictures from, from up above. And this is a true jasper. It sometimes has patterns that look like old-fashioned sepia landscape photographs, which is a photographer I can appreciate. And then we have with it, we have 8mm picture star cut rounds, which I think are just really, really interesting. And then we have some 6mm picture jasper rounds. This is an A grade. And then 4mm picture jasper rounds. These are kind of hard to find. Debbie had to hunt for these a little bit. Our crystal discs, just kind of a matching gold color. And then the 6x4 crystals are just a kind of a paler version of that. And I noticed that when the light hits this, they kind of have a rose reflection that comes out of them. And there you have your glass pearls and the smaller rounds. There's everything together. Debbie, you did a good job. That goes together really well. Then
I was hoping the white would add a pretty accent and should work with.
And then our findings bag. Sorry. Oh, what have we got? We got one bronzite focal coin. It's really hard to see this, but it's a beautiful stone. And then up above that to the right, we have 5 tiger eye bones. These are 16 by 12mm. They're just a fun shape, A grade. And I think they're drilled through the through the long way. And then over to the left of that, we have 6 picture Jasper large hole rondelles. Large hole beads are really popular and hard to find.
The hole's about 4 millimeter.
Yeah, 4 to 5 millimeter, 12 by 8 millimeter. And then let's go down to the counterclockwise. We have 8 bronzite coins. And then there are 10 picture Jasper tubes that are 13 by 4 millimeters. And then over to the side of that, we have 20 bronzite hishis that are 6 by 4. And above that, we have 15 picture Jasper stars. And here is everything together. Again, take note of those super duos, just the wonderful bronze color. What really stands out to me is the little string of glass pearls and crystals, and just how striking they are, and yet they go with everything else that's here.
If you like bronzite, this is a rare opportunity to get some. I do not have any bronzite orphans, but I had some what I call focal type beads, like the coin with this one, and I think it's the only one I had.
We have some bronzite composites.
So
we have some bronzite composites where they put bronzite with something else. The timer is up. Time is up. Sorry, everybody.
Ursula
Sorry, Debbie.
won that one at $40. Congratulations, Ursula.
All right, and now we get into the tuxedos. I call them tuxedo stones because you've got this black and white. And this is Stormy. It's an English name meaning wild and turbulent. Of course, it means stormy. Okay, this is a black and white druzy agate heart, 40 millimeter by 40 millimeter by 7 millimeters, and I know I need to start the timer. I changed my setup so everything's in the wrong place.
The druzy in this pendant's amazing.
Oh, it's like looking into a picture from the Hubble telescope or from the Webb telescope, looking out at the universe, you know, and how it was created, and realizing that these had a similar creation, just not quite as long ago. So let's see what we've got that goes with Stormy.
Definitely one of a kind.
Okay, we've got a strand of faceted sardonyx stones in 8 millimeters. And I didn't know we had these, Debbie. I should be using these.
Black sardonyx?
Black sardonyx.
Yeah, they are faceted.
And they're
It's hard to see the faceting.
It's a really
black.
fine faceting. It's not a coarse one. They're small facets. And then we have 6 millimeter moonstone rounds, giving you the white. And then that looks like onyx for the 4 millimeter. Gosh, we're just alternating, aren't we, Debbie?
Yep, black.
Then there's our white crystal discs.
I love working with black and white.
Oh, they're fun. There's your 6x4s, and there's your pearls. We went black, white, Debbie. There is everything together, and let's see what's in the bag. There we go. Oh, this is one of Debbie's favorite stones. The focal on this is a black and white druzy agate thorn. It's 37 by 10.
These and was going to save one and do something for Steve, a necklace.
Yeah, I don't wear necklaces.
Thorn, but he won't wear 3 of them, so.
Okay, and above that, and that does have a drill hole in it.
Yes,
right?
It's drilled side to side.
Okay.
Like a briolette.
And then you've got 4 black rutilated quartz ovals, 18 by 13. And then over to the side of that, we have 10 onyx faceted coins, 8 millimeter. These are in A grade. And then we have 4 black sardonyx rectangles, 18 by 13, also in A grade. And then we have 25 labradorite hishis, 6 by 2, which is an interesting addition to the whole thing. And then 12 black sardonyx tubes that are 13 by 14. Here is everything together. Take note that the super duos, you have a mix of black and white, about half and half of all of it. This is to me is a very striking combination of stones.
The hishi is an interesting. I had a vendor that the factory got a load of this labradorite that is white with black, on it. There are some flashes, not a lot of flash,
But it is Labradorite.
but
The
it is Labradorite.
timer's up, by the way.
And I thought with the contrast between the white and the black, it worked well with this stone.
Okay, yeah, and the timer was up. So let's reset everything.
Carrie Moore at 46. Congratulations, Carrie.
Okay, it's time for another yard sale. And these are spears. We used to have a whole project just using spears. There was no timer. These are fancy Jasper. I think they also call them Indian agate, though I don't think they're a true agate. Sometimes you see moss agate stones in with these. And these are $6 a strand. It's a full strand that's like 15 to 16 inches. Normally $12, so it's about half price. I have 14 of these.
I'd say approximately 85 to 90 spears on a strand, 15.5 inch to 16-inch strands. They're really well manufactured. They're not rough or
This is old
marred.
stock.
Yeah, this is old stock again. We used to sell these at $12 a strand when we had our studio.
And that was like substantially less than what everyone else did, and they're a good quality.
So we put them at
Colleen wants one.
we put them at 50% off at the $6 rate. Is that true? No, $5.50. It's even lower.
I have $6 as the price.
Nope, $5.50.
Well, I have 6, and you made this, so it's 5. It just dropped. All right, on sale.
Steve. Oh, well.
So it's $5.50.
What's written on my sheet? It's $5.50 a strand.
Oh wow, they're going lower and lower. They're not going any lower. $5.50 is what they're going to go for, and there are 14 strands.
$5.50 a strand.
Okay, Colleen, what are you bidding on these? You're getting them for.
I only have 14.
You only have 14.
So.
Oh, make it 6. Oh, I thought you wanted 6. No, $5.50. It's $5.50 is what we've got at. Oh my heavens, we're going to lose 50 cents, and they are gone.
Okay.
That is
Sold
all
out
of
on
them.
those.
Apparently, they're more popular than glass pearls, which I could have told you that. Oh, here comes my favorite all-time stone. If I can get it up here. I love rainbow jaspers, the fancy rainbow jaspers, not the plain old ordinary ones. So we're going to get the timer going on this one. Maybe. There we go. Okay, this is Amatola, a Native American name which means rainbow. It's a teardrop that's 50 millimeters by 34 by 7.
Look at the texture in that thing.
So much rainbow jasper is just a red stone, but when you get this kind of a pattern, some of them look like, splattered paint or, barn paint or whatever they call it when the paint on a barn antiques. And so it just makes for a really special stone in my opinion. And it is a true jasper. It has a chalcedony and all those normal things, but let's see what you get with it. All right, we have rainbow jasper 8 millimeter rounds. And then we have rainbow jasper 6 millimeter rounds. And then we have 4 millimeter gold stones, which I think match really nicely. You begin to lose the pattern when you get bigger. And then here is probably my favorite of all the crystal discs today. What color would you call that? You don't have a description on this, but it's kind of a...
Okay, it is a really deep, dark red with an AB finish on it.
Yep, almost a gold bronze pattern in there. And then you have a red 4x6 with a silver half plating. And then finally, we have our strand of pearls and crystals, and look at that together.
Again, I went with the dark red with the half-plated silver because the bindings bag is silver.
Okay, well, we'll go with that. And let's move over to the findings bag. And this is one of my favorite findings bag too. You have a red picture jasper focal coin. It's 30 millimeters. It's an A grade. And then above that, you have 5 rainbow jasper hearts that are 12 millimeter. And then we have 6, going clockwise, 6 rainbow Jasper fauceted squares that are 10 millimeters in A grade. And then we have 20 moonstone fauceted cubes, which just gives some contrast, I think. They're 4 millimeters. And then 10 rainbow Jasper lentils. And look at the finish on those. And then finally, just above that, and these roll all over the place while we're trying to take the pictures, are 5 rainbow Jasper rice beads. And that, when I pulled this picture up, I just stared at it for a while. And here is everything together. Again, noticing the super duos, the colors and the patterns that are in there, and how everything looks.
Alexis helped me pick out a lot of these items for these dress-up bags.
Okay, go Alexis, way to go. Anyway, this is just a really, really, really fun set. And wow, I finished early, which is so unlike me.
The red picture Jasper, believe it or not, is natural. It is an unusual selection of ore that has the red hint. But you'll notice the picture Jasper, scenic lines, and I only had a couple of these and decided to put them in these dress-up bags.
Yeah, Debbie, and the bidding is finished.
Yeah. Cherie won that at $50. Congratulations, Cherie. That is definitely one of a kind.
Okay.
In both the stone and the focal.
Okay, so let's go with our next one. And we actually have a sister set. Another rainbow Jasper. This one's a moon, obviously. And this is Ursia. It's a Persian name, means colors of wonder of the rainbow. And you can look at this. It has this wonderful white splash.
It's kind of a druzy.
Yeah, it has little druzy patterns in there, but let me start the timer so people can bid, huh?
This is a case where the dress-up bag you just saw is identical, comes with this moon.
Take it back. This is only 1.5 minutes because you've already seen the strands that come with it, and you've seen the dress-up bag.
The red picture Jasper, I have 3 of them. They're 30 millimeter. The pattern is different for each one. Each one's unique, and yet they're all just like the one we showed you.
Yep, here's everything together. And the focal is the same one in the picture here. I didn't pull them out separately.
But all 3 of these focals were very similar. They have, a touch of white. They have all the lines running down through them. They are 2-sided. They're not flat on one side, so you can pick which side of the coin you want. Drilled top to bottom. You can see on the left side there where your drill hole is coming out on this one. So identical dress-up bag, just a different orphan. I thought these moons were gorgeous. So
yeah, it's interesting because they it has a Native American name, but the Anasazi Native Americans, which were the Mesa Verdes and here in Colorado and Utah, they made arrowheads. I mean, can you imagine an arrowhead made out of this, beautiful rainbow Jasper? If I'm going to get shot by an arrow, I want it to have a rainbow Jasper arrowhead on it. Time is up. And so I can hear me speaking in the other room on Alexis's computer.
No, you're fine.
You're doing great.
Misty, congratulations at 42.
Okay. Oh, I need to put that away. I'm slowing down, Debbie. We have another sister.
This is the only time that we've done 3. Duplicating, again, the dress-up bag. But if you watched the video of the stones, I don't know if you really noticed, but we had a left-facing and a right-facing moon that looked like they could be mirror images of each other.
Yeah, we debated about selling them together, but, we don't want to separate the family, but we're doing it.
I've never seen 2 stones that were this close but mirrored, from each other. This was kind of fun. So that's why we're presenting them this way with identical dress-up bags, is because the orphans are quite similar.
And this one is actually Ursia. The other one was Itzel. I'm if I'm going to mess up, I'm glad it's just the names today. Yep, let's go to the full picture. Which is right there, but here. There, you can see it reversed. Everything else is exactly the same. Of course, the focal bead will be different than what you see here.
I wish I had set those out because all of them are so beautiful.
Well, this is just this. I've never seen rainbow jasper that had the white in it either. And the way it's done. What are you looking for, Debbie?
The other picture jasper stones.
It's down there, put away.
I just wondered if they were real quick.
It's going to be real quick because you got 5 seconds, Debbie.
If we just show them even one, they'll see how similar they are and yet still different.
Yeah, Debbie wants me to show you. The time is up, by the way.
But on just so you'll feel comfortable, here's a second one of those red picture jaspers.
Yeah, they still have the black streaks. They have the gray and red in them. They're drilled top to bottom, or if you turn it this way, it's side to side. But anyway, that's what it is. And Tina Lowe got that one. Yeah, they're a beautiful set. And let's move on, Debbie.
Go back to my chair.
Yeah, sit down, Debbie. It's Father's Day. I'm in charge. No, it's Father's Day. Fathers are never in charge. Okay. This one's a cabochon. It's a crazy lace. It is blue.
Yep, there's one time where we'll be sure to tell you. We are looking at a cabochon, so it will be a glue-on bell.
Yep, even though in the picture you'll see a clip. But anyway, this is, oh, I'm going to mess this up. It's Aluan. It's an English name meaning Blue Mountain Lake. Very appropriate because you can almost see the waves and the patterns moving around, and yet it still looks like blue canyons too to me. And let's see what we've got in the bag.
This is one of the most beautiful examples of a blue crazy lace agate that I've seen, and I've seen a fair number of them.
You've seen some before?
Yeah.
All right, we got blue banded agate rounds in 8mm, and then we have blue dragon vein agate rounds for the 6mm, and for the 4mm we have apatite. There should be a little bit of sparkle and flash, which is neat about apatite. You have both sparkle and flash. Our discs are a blue with a wonderful little finish. And then you have a pale blue with, again, a pearlescent finish for the 4x6. It's kind of an opaque. And then we have our glass pearls. And there's everything together. Ooh, I could make something with that. Then I like cabs. And let's see what's in the finding bag. There we go. All right, Debbie, what's the focal on this?
This is a mystery. I know it's an agate. I have never seen a stone like this. It is the only one I have. It is drilled through the bead, top to bottom. I believe it is two-sided.
Debbie named it. She's calling
it a tiger
agate. A blue tiger agate focal coin, 25mm.
It has kind of a tiger pattern in those stripes, and those are three-dimensional.
Yes,
they are. You can see down inside the stone in each one of those black stripes. Yep. I mean, it doesn't
running out of time
into the stone, but down into.
Let's move on. 5 blue banded agate ovals, 18x13. They're in A grade. And then over to the left of that, we have 5 blue crazy lace agate coins that are 14mm. And then directly below those, on the left-hand side, we have 20 apatite nuggets. And then on the bottom, we have 2 apatite teardrops, a match set drilled top to bottom. And then we have 5 blue crazy, we have 6 apatite fauceted hearts. And again, you have that wonderful apatite, shading and color. Here's everything together. Shimmer, sparkle, and flash. And we're counting down. This is another set that's just fun to look at, but then Debbie likes blue. Time is up. Bidding is over. And I think I know who won, but we'll find out here in just a second.
Fran Ramirez. Congratulations, Fran.
Okay.
That is an awesome set. I had so much fun putting that one together.
All right, next we have a volcano fire quartz carved in a horse shape. And let me start the countdown.
Got him upside down.
He is upside down. I'm sorry. I maybe photographed it upside down. Well, that's an upside down horse. This is a right side up horse. I'll bet I did. Oh my heavens. Anyway, this is Tele, a Hawaiian name, which means precious one. Volcano cherry quartz comes in different colors, but this one I like, the artist gets to work with the colors and make it, look as good as possible. And I think they did an amazing job here, keeping the pattern along with the shape, in conjunction with the shape. I'm saying that all wrong.
Yes, you are.
I think I'm coming down off my high here. I'll probably be unconscious in just a few minutes.
It's called fire quartz because it looks like flames running through it.
This is a real fun stone. These are 8mm. This is a yellow fire agate, and they're faceted. You can see the pattern on that one that has a little bit of white in it. And then we have 6 yellow agate rounds. And somewhere in here are 4mm crazy lace agate rounds.
Those discs are natural, on this, and they just matched really well with the horse.
And then you've got this yellow with kind of a pearl finish for our discs. And the beads in between, I think, are Miyukis.
Yes, those are a Miyuki.
Debbie wanted something that would stand out.
Silver-lined bronze. So.
The 6x4 crystals have a kind of a gold flash to them. And then we have
the white.
The white pearls in that. And let's see what's in the findings bag, because I'm running out. There we go. All right, right in the middle, we have a yellow hydrothermal crystal teardrop. This is man-made, but they're beautiful and perfect.
Hydrothermal is grown in a lab. It takes a long time to grow one because
they start from a seed, but we can talk about that later.
But they're perfect.
Okay, above that, that's 34x20. They're beautiful, drilled through the top. 4 Mashon jade coins in 19mm. And then going clockwise, we have 6 citrine faceted coins, 10mm. They're an A grade. Down at the bottom, we have 20 mocha jasper hishis. And then to the left of that is 10 citrine cubes that are 5.5 to 6mm. It's a natural citrine. And then above that, we have 8 yellow agate rice that are 12x8. Here is everything together. And I did. The horse is upside down. I can't believe I did that. Okay, this is a horse in distress, the fallen horse. Oh, heavens. Yesterday was a hectic day, everybody.
I had 2 of these
Bidding
horses.
Is done. Bidding is done.
Had one auctioned off a while ago, so this is the last one, and I couldn't find any more.
The last horse.
The last cherry volcano horse.
Yeah, we have other horses.
I actually have only one. I have one left, so it might show up at the next auction, but it's opalite. It's not cherry quartz.
Okay, Maritza got that.
Maritza, congratulations.
Okay, we have another yard sale item. Let's see if I can get a set out, because these come as a set. These are 6 full strands, and you get a complete set of 6 beads. These are $3, which is for all 6 strands.
Makes them 50 cents a strand. They're a full strand, 16-inch, and they're a gradient crystal.
Yeah.
If we back up in time a little bit, Colleen did a really fun memory wire bracelet and had one of the colors in her collection that we sold out of. So I bought some additional colors, and we sold them individually at $1 a strand on the website, but I decided to group them where you get one of each color that we were offering at just 50 cents a strand, and they are just plain fun.
That's probably not the best way to show them.
I'm not sure there was a good way.
Bunch them all
but
together.
Each strand, each color selection's a little bit different.
If you got a pink, you've got a peachy one, a green, a blue.
Beautiful. I did keep some for me because I plan on using some of these.
But there are 16.
But there are 16 sets is what I've got, and just I love the way they move from one shift
they're gone.
From one color to the other.
They're gone.
Okay, they are sold out.
Quit selling it, Debbie. Nobody else can have one. All right, let's go back to the orphans, please.
There are, yes, Michelle, there are a couple of second chance auctions. We moved them to the end so that those who have been trying to win one and doesn't have, hasn't had a chance to win one will get a chance.
And we will start out by telling you
but they're towards the end of the auctions, and there are some second chance auctions coming
In the
up.
meantime, here is a coral fossil oval. Coral fossils are just plain amazing. The timer has started. This is Kalia, a Hawaiian name which means sea of joy. How appropriate. One thing about coral fossils is they generally do color them. It's not just a dye, it's a whole process in order to bring out the coral pattern. And this one is just exquisite.
I see a lot of coral fossil that you hardly can make out the individual fossils. I tend to buy the stones where I at least can see the fossil pattern.
Yeah, this is 48 by 33 by 7 millimeters.
So they're harder to come by, but worth it.
Okay, and the stones that go with this. We have a fuchsia banded agate in rounds, that's 8 millimeter. And then we have two that stuck together. We have a 6 millimeter fuchsia banded agate in 6 millimeter, and then a 3 millimeter. This is pink tourmaline, and you get 50 of those beads.
They're faceted, and yep, they're pink tourmaline. So
there are crystal discs, which definitely have a pink fuchsia cast to them. And then we have kind of a white pearl finish on the 6x4s. And then we have here glass pearls and crystals, and there's everything together. Fun selection. Let's see what's in the findings bag. There we go. Okay, right there in the middle, we have one purple agate focal that's 31 by 21 millimeters, and above that we have 4 magnesite turtles, which look like they're coming down and feeding or diving. And then let's go counter. Yes, they are counterclockwise. We've got 8 fuchsia agate rices that are 16 by 18, and then 12 magnesite tubes, 13 by 4. The finish on these is amazing. Going counterclockwise again, on the bottom on the right, we have 25 raspberry garnet faceted coins. These are 4 millimeters and an A grade. Raspberry garnet is probably the top as far as I'm concerned. And then above that we have 12 pink tourmaline nuggets. And here is everything together. Go ahead, comment, Debbie.
Oh.
You have time now.
Yeah. The super duos are added in there. The tourmaline nuggets are not what I would call necessarily an A grade. They have a lot of character and personality to them, and they are going to match those 3 millimeter faceted rounds because they're both probably from the same ore batch sort of thing. So,
but boy, the coral fossil just stands out.
Yeah, that's one of my stronger coral fossils.
Time is up. And let me get that put away and get the next one out. You're doing an amazing job, Alexis. Yep, that's who I would have guessed.
Ramirez at 39.
All right. Let's reset timers. And our next stone, this is two-sided, so I almost, Debbie said that she didn't have any bronzite. She does when it's mixed with something else. And this is malachite, a Greek name which means mellow green stone. And we will start the timer. And this is a donut, so yes, it has a hole right through the middle.
It is not drilled. It is the only hole is the one you see in the center of the donut.
But it is two-sided. I like doing these with a cord. And let's see what goes with it. Ooh, I didn't know you'd done this. We have nephrite jade in 8 millimeters.
Yeah. I've only got a few strands left. That is the
Well,
nephrite jade.
I only had a few strands left. I think these were mine. Anyway, 8 millimeters. Then we have 6 millimeter malachite rounds. Oh my heavens.
Yeah.
You went all out. You know, two of our more expensive stones.
Believe me, I know it. I keep trying to buy malachite and it's always out of my price range.
And then we have 4 millimeter agate rounds.
Faceted.
They are faceted slightly. And then there is our crystal disc, which is in kind of a deep green, half plated. And then a different shade of green on the 4x6s. And then finally, we've got the glass pearls and small crystals. There's everything together. And flip it over. I like the two different sides, just because it gives you a little bit of a choice. And there's what comes in the shape bag, which you have right in the middle, a chrysocolla rectangle focal, which is 29 by 19. Again, I've told you chrysocolla is, again, one of my favorite stones. They remind me, when they're rounds, of little planet Earths. And
I believe chrysocolla is a combination of malachite and azurite.
I thought it was lapis, but we'll talk about it later.
No, I think it's azurite.
But
anyway.
let's tell what's in here. Okay, starting over on the left-hand corner, upper corner, we have 6 green quartz hearts, 12 millimeters, and then clockwise we have 8 green agate rices and 12 by 8. These are an A grade, beautiful finish on them. Down below that, clockwise, we have 8 bronzite coins in 10 millimeters, and then 10 malachite tubes, 10 by 4 millimeters in an A grade. And above that, you have 20 malachite faceted cubes. I didn't know we had this much malachite, Debbie.
This is about all we have in my
Okay.
So
It's me who asked for the malachite, and it's you who sells it. So, oh well. It's like my rainbow Jasper. But anyway, there is everything together. This is a beautiful set, too. How my babies are going away, Debbie. Oh,
they're going to good homes.
we can only hope.
Well, those of you that are not part of our Facebook group should go over and see what people make from these and how they dress
Time is
the
up, by the way.
orphans.
Yeah, the timer is up.
So I'm happy with what people do with these beautiful stones.
All right,
Ursula,
Ursula, congratulations. Which brings us to our next stone, which is an African bloodstone carved rose.
This might be maybe my favorite in the set.
Okay, I'm starting the timer.
Bit of a toss-up.
The name here is Ruby Rose, which is Latin and French, meaning lovely beauty, passion. It is 36 by 36 by 7. We've done carved roses in the past, and they seem to be popular, but this one I especially like because of the little white patches that it has in there. And let's see what comes in the bag with it. We've got African bloodstone rounds in 8 millimeter. And then we have, that's the 4 millimeter. There we go. I knew we had some 6s. We also have 6 and 4 millimeter African bloodstone rounds. And then our crystal disc. We had no idea when we started this whole thing that the crystal discs would be so popular. And we just have a wonderful factory that produces these. It has a red flash to it.
They might be going away, those.
And they might be going away. We
Yes.
don't talk about it. Okay, this is kind of a red with, is that a bronze half
The
plating?
discs do have the
on it.
Miyuki spacers, and then you've got a dark red with a half-plated black
Is that black?
on it.
It
yeah.
almost has a bronze flash, and then
And it
there's
has a bronze flash, but it's half-plated
there's
black on the red.
everything together. And let's see what's in the findings bag. Okay, we have got, oh, that's not it. It's the next one. There we go. That looks a lot better. We have one Blackstone donut focal in 25 millimeters, which there's some fun things I could do with that, like a bracelet.
That is drilled through the bead as well.
Yeah, as well as the hole.
So
then we have up at the top, we have 4 onyx ovals. Then going clockwise, we have 2 African bloodstone hearts, 15 millimeters in A grade. And then down below that, we have 20 African bloodstone hishis, 6 by 2 millimeters. And then we have 10 rainbow jasper tubes, really rating my rainbow jasper today, Debbie, that are 10 by 6 millimeters. And I know. And then we have African bloodstone stars that are 6 millimeters and an A grade. And then we have 4 African bloodstone coins in 15 millimeters. Those are also an A grade. Here is everything together. As I'm putting things away.
On the donut, I meant that it was drilled top to bottom as well as having the hole punched out. So this is the type of thing where you can string it and string a bead in the middle of the donut.
Okay, time is up. Bidding has ended. And this, by the way, has a sister stone. Okay, Sherry, see you.
Congratulations at $40.
Now, this is a sister stone, so it has the same strands and it has the same, shape bag. And so we're only going to do...
Upside down.
I have it upside down. You can wear it either way, but it will hang better this way. And so, how come my timer won't start? There it goes. Okay, so just 1.5 minutes on this, but we will show you what it looks like with everything. A couple of little druzy on the surface, which I just think adds to the personality. The African bloodstone were very highly prized by the Egyptians. They used them to make talisman, I guess.
Well, they come out of Africa, and
Thus the
after
name.
the Africans were brought, Native Africans were brought over to the U.S. and enslaved in the colonies, African bloodstone was one of the stones that they kind of used to...
It was a talisman.
Yeah.
It's carved. It's easy to work with, easy to carve, supposedly. I can't imagine any stone being easy to carve. But it was really popular during the Victorian era up in England and in the English colonies and that, or holdings, just because it was considered a stone of mourning. And I think the entire Victorian era was a time of mourning. Queen Victoria mourning for her prince. But anyway, it's said that it can help you overcome challenges and achieve your goals. And it's a stone of courage and transformation. Time is up. Bidding is finished.
Hi, Becky. We were just talking that we didn't think you had made it.
Oh, wow. She got here before the pink stones.
Nope, she missed the pink coral fossil.
Oh, yeah, but there's another one.
There's
not a coral.
Pink one coming up. But
yes.
She likes more than just pink. She just likes pink.
No, I think she only likes pink. Okay, let's...
Right. Lois, congratulations. You won that at 34.
Okay, we've got another yard sale item. And these are stones that I really like. These are piece jasper. They are pendant stones drilled top to bottom. They are a twisted oval that is, 40 by 30 millimeters. The price on these is $2 each. They usually retail from us for $5, though we've seen them all over the place price-wise.
I looked them up on Etsy before I put them up here for sale, because again, they're old stock.
Yeah, I tell her don't look at Etsy.
And it was hard to find any in the first place, but when I did, they were anywhere from $8 to $12.
Yeah, particularly the size. We have 27 of these, by the way.
There's 27, so.
Yeah, it's also called Peace Jade. It's a combination of serpentine and white quartz.
There was some finished necklaces on Etsy where they had turned their stone into a necklace. One was asking 30, the other was asking 50. They were beautiful.
Well, they were smaller
Impressed with
stones.
how well this stone worked up into a finished piece. So yeah, just $2. Old stock is why I've got them at the price I do. So.
And we've had them for quite a while. We're waiting for a yard sale. I wanted to bring them out last time, or the big yard sale.
Sometimes I bring a bin out of the storage unit, and there's little treasures like this in the bin, and I get excited and think, ooh.
Yes, in the big vault of forgotten treasures. Okay, we'll give it just a minute or a second more, and then we will move on.
Almost any type of a green stone goes with this, but
Yep.
if you look at some of the white areas here in the bin, it does stray into ever so slight of a purple hue, and that is all natural sort of thing. So.
Okay, think we're finished.
Okay, Steve says we're done.
Well, I think we are. Everybody quit buying them. So we sold 20. Okay, that's fine. That leaves me. Debbie wanted to sell them all, but I like them. I like to keep, for me. But anyway, this is a lapis lazuli. It is a natural stone. And we will start the bidding right about now. Name is Neela, an Indian name from India meaning sapphire blue.
It's undyed.
Yep.
They dye so much of the lapis now that it's hard to find natural.
And unfortunately, it doesn't hold a dye well. So if you make a necklace, it will come off on your skin. But not this one. Neela is 48 by 31 by 8 millimeters. Lapis comes from some of the harshest places on the planet, like Afghanistan.
It's out of Czechoslovakia.
No, it comes from, well, maybe. Anyway, stones, accessory stones with this, we have 8 millimeter lapis lazuli rounds in 8 millimeters and in 6 millimeters and in 4 millimeters. The crystal discs with this are a beautiful blue. I think it was lapis. There was some Greek philosopher that called it a piece of the midnight sky. There's the crystal discs, which are in a deep blue. And then you have a half-plated silver over blue on our 4x6 crystals. And then we have our little strand of glass pearls and crystals. And there it is all together.
The strands probably are dyed.
Probably.
When I was trying to check into this, the vendor checked with the factory. The factory said that almost all lapis is now dyed at the factory. So, the pendant I know is natural, but I think there is a good chance that the strands, otherwise I think they'd have a little more white showing up in them.
And here is what is inside the shape bag. We have a large 35 by 25 millimeter blue spot Jasper oval focal drilled top to bottom. And then we have down at the very bottom 2 lapis lazuli teardrops that are 18 by 8. It's a match set. And I'm going to go kind of counterclockwise from there. We have 20 lapis lazuli rondelles, 6 by 4. And then we have 6 lapis lazuli marquees up there in the upper right-hand corner, 20 by 12. There are 5 lapis coins, 12 millimeters, which are to the left of that. And then down below we have 10 blue spot Jasper bamboo. I think they go together fairly well, but I love the bamboos. And these are 12 by 5, and then we have 15 sodalite stars down there below that. And here is everything together. Again, the super duos are really pretty. With that, it's just a nice shade of blue.
I had intended to put a little bit of pyrite in with this bag, but had so much fun getting all the blue stones in there that there wasn't room to put any more
and the bidding has ended.
In the shaped bag. But if you've got any pyrite on hand, it works well.
Yeah, it can. I also think it works well with chrysocolla.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jan Mitchell, congratulations.
And next we have another cabochon. And this is kind of interesting because this is a Labradorite cabochon with a wonderful blue flash. Flashes almost more on the back, if I can get it here. This is, let me get the timer started on this so we can start the bidding. There we go. That's the back. And here is the front on this. Anyway, this is Norita, an Arab name that means little light or ray of light. And this is a long, thin oval. It is 41 by 22 by 6 millimeters, a stone that was discovered back in 1770.
I agree, Becky. It would be great to wrap.
Oh, this is a wrapping stone.
Yeah.
This one's interesting because there's more flash, from when you turn it this way as opposed to this way, which is weird. But anyway, supporting beads that go with this, I'll bet there's a lot of Labradorite, and there is. Labradorite in 8 millimeters, and you can see the blue and gold flash. 6 millimeters.
Just about every stone will flash as you rotate it on these strands. They are an A grade.
Yeah, even the 4 millimeter has a lot of it. The crystal discs, they make up for the flash by faceting. And that's just a wonderful color. I don't even know what color you would call that, Debbie. And
it's a Montana blue.
Montana blue
with a, I forget what the AB finish on it is.
It's probably an AB finish.
But it creates a flash that flashes both blue and green. So.
And there is everything together. And let's see what's inside the shape bag. There we go. I found Debbie did an interesting thing here. She used a larvicite focal, which some people call what, black Labradorite?
Norwegian Labradorite is another name that larvicite goes by.
But it's larvicite, and if you look directly above that, there are 4 Labradorite faceted ovals, and you can see some flash just in the picture. You need to move Labradorite to see everything. And then what have we got? We've got 10 Labradorite faceted ovals going clockwise, and below that are 6 Labradorite faceted hearts. Labradorite's one that if I say it fast, I lose it. And then continuing counterclockwise, we have 15 Labradorite faceted coins in 6.5 millimeters, and above that we have the larvicite faceted rondelles. There are a dozen of those. They're also, I will have to show you here in the next picture, if you look down at the bottom of this picture of everything, we couldn't fit this into the bag, but it's included is 20 marine blue quartz crystal sticks. And they are a beautiful, rich, dark blue.
They're a bonus item.
Yep.
They are beautiful.
There are 20 of them on that strand. And of course, you can hardly see the blue flash on the Labradorite at that angle. Yeah, whoa is right. And wow, I'd never seen anything like these quartz crystal sticks. And I like things that are a little bit
Well, I love
different.
when you hold them up just a little bit to the light. The light comes through and you get that beautiful marine flash blue coming through those stick beads, those quartz sticks. So
Okay, and we have
we
a
might
winner.
see more of those in the future because I thought they were beautiful when they came in. So
Okay.
let's see. Diana Martin won that at 55.
Congratulations, Diana.
Diana, do you do wire wrapping by any chance?
Well, she can answer while we're doing the next stone, which is a beautiful silver-eye Jasper heart. Okay, I love the ocular formations in your silver-eye Jasper, and we will get the timer going. Yes, she does. All right, this is Dilara, which is a Persian name meaning adorning the heart. Okay, and there you can see that wonderful ocular, the round eyes
It's a type
that
of
form.
bird's eye Jasper. It's
Yeah, I
in
was going
that
to say
family.
it's.
And I can't find a silver eye Jasper anymore. I bought quite a nice selection of it about 8 years ago, I keep looking, and it's disappeared. So
Okay, here are the supporting stones for this. This is probably a hard one to do. We have 8mm blossom agate rounds. You can see the little blossoms in there. And then we have, somewhere in here is 4mm rhodonite fauceted rounds. You can just barely see the fauceting on that. It's a very soft stone, so the fauceting isn't always as pronounced. And then 4mm we have magnesite. Your crystal discs, again, we have that interesting color. It's kind of a bronzy red or a deep rose. And then the 6x4 crystals are a similar color. And then our white glass pearls and crystals, there is everything together. And let's see what's inside the bag. There we go. All right. We have a purple lace Jasper focal coin in 20mm. And then up to the right of that, we have 6 Botswana agate coins. I thought those looked like Botswanas. They're 12mm and A grade. Directly below that, we have 30 agate hishis, 4 by 1.5mm. And then directly below that, we have 8 magnesite rondelles that are 8 by 5mm. Down along the bottom, we have 11 moonstone prison points. No, they aren't either. Yes, they are. Yeah, they are too. And then going over on the left bottom corner, we have 10 sage amethyst hearts, which is kind of an interesting thing. And above that, you have 2 magnesite turtles, which are 17 by 13. And above that, we have 6 gray agate star cuts.
10mm.
And 10mm. And really quickly, let's see everything together. Sorry, I get a little tongue-tied sometimes. Doesn't the silver-eyed Jasper have another name too? And the bidding is finished.
Like I said, other than the fact that it's in the bird's eye Jasper family, I haven't found another name. So
Okay.
Tina Lowe won that at 32.
Congratulations, Tina. Let me reset everything. And we have our first second chance. Now, the rules on second chance is if you have won anything, Tina, you don't get to bid on this one.
Yard sales don't count.
Yard sales don't count,
If
yeah.
you've won an auction today, just today, if you've won an auction, you can't bid.
Yeah.
So if you haven't won an auction yet, you can bid on this one.
And this is a 1.5 minute timer, which is starting right now. Again, silver-eyed Jasper. This is Idania. It's a Spanish name meaning one who captures the heart. How appropriate. Okay, just a slightly different pattern. Still beautiful. I love the swoosh that
These
comes
are all
down here.
natural too. They are not dyed. They're not heat treated. They're not.
I think any dyeing or treatment would probably ruin the stone.
Yeah.
But let's see it with the complete set. There we go. And of course the focal will be slightly different, but not by very much on this.
The focals are very close. And that's the last of my purple lace Jasper.
Is it?
Those coins, yeah. There might be one more coin, but that's it. I can't find any more of it either.
Yeah, I find it interesting that you would think a stone that looked like this, that was so unique, would be very localized, but apparently it's mined in a lot of places around the world.
So many Jaspers come out of a mine, and if the mine is small, it hits the market for a short time, and then if they can't find any more veins, it's gone.
Yeah, like blue water Jasper is gone.
Blue water Jasper.
But this particular one has mines in Africa, India, Brazil, Australia, and so it's kind of one of those global stones.
So that's your bird's eye Jasper, can be found in multiple places.
I guess, yeah, but the silver eye is kind of specific.
The silver eye, which is this color,
time is up,
and texture is, I think they're gone.
Yep, time is up. All right, let's pull up, and that was our first,
Gina
second chance.
Sherman won that at 40.
Congrats. Let's reset everything.
Congratulations, Gina. I do have a few more that will show up in the auctions, but when mine are gone, then I think they'll be gone.
Oh, someone will open a mine,
I
hopefully.
keep hoping they'll find another.
Of course, we said that on the Blue Water
Yeah,
Jaspers.
I've been waiting 8 years for the Blue Water Jasper.
Oh, it's been longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red rhyolite. That's an interesting stone too. But let's talk about Impression Jasper now. And this is a fun stone. It's a coin, 41 by 41 millimeters.
Thanks, Kitty. I'll take a look.
Oops, wrong one. Hit the timer. There we go. All right, this is Argraff. It's a Welsh name meaning one who makes an impression. I missed that in the description. Okay, this is 41 by 41 by 8. It's Aquaterra sea sediment stone, snakeskin jasper. It's one of my favorite all-time stones. And she's dipped into some of my favorite 8mm beads too.
I believe that one is flat on the back, not a
It is.
two-sided one.
It is flat. It is flat on the back. All right, we got Impression Jasper rounds in 8mm. And then somewhere I've got 6mm Brazilian Amazonite. I love the Brazilian Amazonite because of it's a little bluer cast.
Well, yeah, you've got a little more intensity and color in your Brazilian Amazonite.
Those Brazilians really know how to do a stone. And then we have 4mm Impression Jaspers again. The crystal discs are a kind of a matching blue with a pearlescent finish. And then you've got a gold and bronze with a red cast on the 6x4s. And then finally we've got your little glass pearls and crystals, and here's everything together. When you put it all together, it really looks cool, doesn't it, Debbie?
Yeah, I threw the one crystal in because the stone has some of that reddish orange running through it, which is unusual. Most of the Impression Jasper I have is browns and blues.
Okay, we have an Amazonite focal bead and a teardrop, 39 by 20, so it's kind of long and thin. And then
it's drilled side to side,
like a briolette.
I think.
Above that to the right, we have 5 Amazonite ovals. And then going clockwise, we have 20 Impression Jasper Hishis in a 6x3mm, a little bigger than usual. And then down below on the strand, we have 10 Impression Jasper. No, they aren't. That is faucet coins, 10 Brazilian Amazonite faucet coins, 7mm in an A grade. Then continuing counterclockwise, we have the, where is it? It's the 10 Brazilian Amazonite. Nope. The Impression Jasper discs. I'm all over the place today, sorry. And then we have the stars, 20 Impression, no.
They're Amazonite stars.
Amazonite stars. I'm just sorry. Enough said. I won't talk again.
I am not positive that stone is drilled side to side, but I think it is. It may be drilled top to bottom.
It's top to bottom.
Top to bottom, okay.
Yep. Everybody doesn't want it now. Time is up.
Well, sometimes they're easier to work into a pendant when they're top to bottom, so. Joanne, congratulations. Behind. You're going to love that Brazilian Amazonite.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really gorgeous stuff.
Of all the Amazonites, it's my favorite. All right, we have another yard sale. Is this the last yard sale?
Yep, this is the last one.
And it is buttons. We have 20mm.
A vintage button with swirl. Well, we're not supposed to give the name anymore. With Austrian crystal.
They're rhinestones. Okay, these are $2.50 a piece. We normally sell these for $5. We have 20 of them available.
There are 20 buttons. They're 20mm on a side. And I believe the alternating little squares are a fiber optic, but I'm not positive.
I can't tell exactly what they are.
Sort
They
of
have
thing.
some fiber optic features to them. You can see the not quite cat eye.
Yeah, you go ahead and ask for as many buttons as you want. However, we will fill requests for
If
one button as far as it goes, and then if there's still buttons left over, we'll go back and those that ask for two can
yes,
have a second one and so on.
yeah,
So
and you can see the shank on that. It's a cast.
yeah,
This is
the
all cast.
casting here is one complete. It's not modular where they glue it together or anything. It's all totally cast
We
that
would
way.
always get you at least 2 buttons, Becky. So, unless we ran out.
So, but these are even prettier
In real life,
in real life, and they're showing on the at least on my computer. I was holding these back thinking they'd make a great project kit, a clasp or
yeah,
a focal.
Debbie's a crocheter. Debbie probably has more crochet patterns published than anyone I know. Of course, I don't know a lot of famous crocheters. Okay, and the clasp is very sturdy. All right. So we're filling up the doubles according to Colleen.
Yeah,
What have we got?
we probably were pretty close to the 20 buttons. And I said that they're by vintage they're 25 years or
Or
older.
older?
Yeah, back in the 90s, I did a lot of crochet work, and that's when I started buying a lot of these buttons. And then I inherited it a lot from my grandmother.
I need a button.
So,
Yes, there's just some mornings you wake up and you just say to yourself, dang it all, I just need a button today. So, okay. So one of you people that ordered more than one, and if we ran out, Giddy took your extra one. So take it out on her. Let's move on to the orphans.
yeah.
We have a pink banded agate with druzy, and we will start the counter right now. This is fuchsia, an English name which means flowering plant. I didn't know that. I thought fuchsia was just a color. Anyway, this is large. It is 57 by 36 by 8.
So almost 2 inches.
This might be our biggest stone of the day. That is 2 inches. But it's got this beautiful druzy and a druzy river over here to the side. And let's see what comes with it. We need to do our little trays different next time. We have 8mm fuchsia banded agate in 8mm. There are 20 of those. And then fuchsia banded agate in 6. And I'll bet these aren't banded agate. The 4mm are a rose quartz, but it's a really rich pink rose quartz. And then let's see. You know, the Miyuki beads on that you separated these with are kind of nice too, Debbie.
Yeah.
But there's our crystals, which has a light, kind of a peachy cast to it. And these are a little bigger. These are 8 by 6mm crystal rondelles. You get 20 of those.
That color's been was discontinued about 10 years ago, and I can't find crystal rondelles in that shade
By our
anymore.
vendor.
And
There.
I've only got that size, so that's why you're getting them.
There is everything together. Let's see what's in the shape bag. Ooh,
Yeah, I agree, Giddy. It's a Barbie.
the Barbie rondelles, yes. Or as we call it out here in the West, the rondellis. All right, one pink crazy lace agate focal right there in the middle in 25mm. And then up in the upper right-hand corner, we have 5 pink jade stars in 13mm. And down below that, we have 8 opalite faceted hearts. It's hard to see the faceting, but it is there.
Those are beautiful hearts. Some of the most beautiful manufacturing I've seen.
We've got 12 fuchsia agate rectangles in the bottom right-hand corner, and then across to the left is 12 white jade rondelles, and above that we have 8 fuchsia agate twisted rice. Here is everything together. We've had pinker collections, but that's pretty pink. I think
Got a lot of pink in it.
we needed to soften it down with some of the whites.
Oh, on this orphan, it was supposed to be part of Becky's collection back in February.
Don't tell her that.
And the orphan hid from all the others. It was in the wrong tray, and I didn't find it until I was looking for stones for this auction.
So, sorry. Anyway, smart orphan. Yes, some of our orphans do hide away. Okay, the bidding is up, and I think Becky's going to get the stone anyway, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait for Alexis to tell us. Smart orphan. Our orphans are all
right,
smart.
Becky, it looks like it's going to you for 45.
You're going to have to show us what you do with it.
Yeah.
Because I want to see. All right, we have a crazy lace. This is one of our old stock crazy laces. And let's get the timer going for this. This is Aya, a Greek name which means whirlwind. How appropriate, because this crazy lace definitely swirls. It is 50 by 34 by 6. I believe this is all natural.
Yes.
But just beautiful patterns all the way around. When we're looking for crazy lace to put into the auctions, this is what we look like. And the supporting stones. Whoa, that's a 10 millimeter. We got 10 millimeter red orange banded agate. And then 6 millimeter Red River Jasper. Let me get back in the middle here.
No, it's 8 millimeter. No?
Nope, that's 6.
6, yeah.
Ah ha ha. I know my sizes. I might mess up everything else, get stones upside down, but I know my sizes. 4 millimeter natural carnelian round. You can tell it's natural because it's not all the same color. The crystal discs, that's a beautiful pink and fuchsia with a gold flash. And
it's that
then
deep red with an AB gold, so that's why it looks fuchsia, but it's not. It's actually a deep red crystal.
And then the 4x6 crystal rondelles. That's just fun colors. And what's fun
AB
is
showing more pink.
yeah, pink and peach. Really yeah. Anyway, we've got the white crystals and pearls. Here is everything together. Too much fun. Let's see what's inside. That's a little less pink. Okay, in the shape bag, we've got one Red River Jasper focal donut. Is that one drilled, Debbie?
This is drilled.
So it is drilled.
Top to bottom.
Or side to side.
You can string a bead in the center.
Me, I'd probably put a couple of cords on each side and turn it into a bracelet. Anyway, up at the top, we have 4 carnelian marquees that are 18 by 13 millimeter. They are an A grade. And then going around clockwise to the right, we have 10 crazy lace agate cubes. I find it interesting that something that size, because they're only 6 millimeters, you can see the pattern in them. Then we have some rainbow jasper rice, rating my rainbow jasper again, 20 of those in 6 by 4. And then going counterclockwise, we have 4 carnelian teardrops, 14 by 10 millimeters in an A grade. And directly above that, you have 10 rainbow jasper rondelles. And here is everything together. Colors look just a little different when it's all together, but still nice.
Yeah, and that's a little closer to what it.
And the bidding has ended.
Like. So.
Okay.
Kirsten Robin won that one at 29.
Congratulations, Kirsten. All right, everybody get ready, because we have our final second chance. Again, if you haven't won anything, you're eligible to bid. If you have won anything other than the yard sale items, you can't win or can't bid. Whatever, you can win, but you can't bid. So anyway, this is going to be a 1.5 minute bidding process. This is Beatrix.
So the stone is different, which you're seeing here, but the dress-up bag's identical to what we just showed.
Yep. I think Beatrix is a really cool name because it means, I didn't know this, she who brings happiness. And again, it's 50 millimeters by 34 by 6, and you can see the wonderful pattern
I love
in
the
this one as
patterns in
well.
these crazy lace agates. The coloring in this is often referred to as Laguna. Crazy lace agate comes out of Mexico. It's the red in it is what makes it distinctive. So,
But second chancers, here's your chance.
so you've got those beautiful red bronzed super duos, all the carnelian.
Yeah, the pattern's a little more, I won't say more subtle, it's just a slightly different pattern than the other. So, but crazy lace is just, particularly the natural crazy lace, are among my favorite stones.
They're a stone you
And
can look at for quite a while and keep seeing different patterns and almost images in it. It's one
yeah,
of those.
it's like a topographical map or a satellite photo looking down at an area with rivers that wind or coastlines where the coast spins around.
And I know we did all the bindings in antique silver, but this particular package would look gorgeous in
Time.
red copper,
Yeah, the time is up.
antique copper type thing. So it was just easier to do all the findings the same this time. Ran out of time.
Okay,
Giddy Gumpkins at 30.
Do we know who Giddy Gumpkins is as far as...
Cynthia.
Oh,
Giddy
okay.
Gumpson, you're Cynthia, aren't you? Yeah, Cynthia
Okay,
Dornius.
good. I don't want to... The orphans get really discouraged when somebody doesn't pick them up. All right.
Hasn't happened yet.
We have another one of our carved, if I can find the whole carved fluorite, if you can see the floral pattern in there. We will start the timer.
You can all blame Marianne for this one showing up again. She fell in love when we showed the first one and asked me if she could just buy one, and I ended up going back to the artist that actually does the carvings and asking her if she would carve a couple more for me, which she did. So
anyway, this is Elrissa, Greek name meaning rainbow, which is appropriate for just about any fluorite. And let's see what we've got in supporting stones. It looks like a lot of fluorite.
the fluorite in this stuff is some of the most beautiful fluorite I've ever seen.
We have 8 millimeter fluorite. We have 6 millimeter fluorite. And we have 4 millimeter fluorite. This is all A grade. And then
the fluorite is pretty much clear. You don't get all that inclusion, cloudiness in it.
well, and you have a variety of colors too, which is what I always look for. There's your discs and your crystal rondelles, and then finally your white glass pearls and crystal, and here is everything together. It's just, you have to get the right angle to see the pattern. There we go, a little bit. But that's everything together. Now let's see what's in the bag. Whoa. You've got a rainbow fluorite focal on this. It's 28 by 20. And then
pretty?
it is. And then let's start up here in the upper right-hand corner.
It is drillet. I can see the drill side to side at the top there.
All right, we've got 5 purple and green agate ovals, but they match very nicely. And then we have 10 green quartz that are faucet cubes in 6 millimeters. Down along the bottom, we have rainbow fluorite fauceted rondelles, 6 by 4 in an A grade. And then we have 4 rainbow fluorite twisted rice that are 16 by 8. And then we've got the blossoms, the 6 rainbow fluorite flowers on that. Here's everything together. Hey, I got through that quickly.
Oh, we did good.
Finally, got through one. The super duos again are kind of a, I don't know how Debbie finds them because we don't have that many. Maybe we do have a lot. Maybe Debbie's been secretly buying them without telling me. But it's just kind of a fun match because you can see all the different fluorite colors just in those. The ones that really stand out are those green cubes over there on the side.
And yet They really do blend.
They do
really well
blend in.
with the stone, the touches of green that you see, they just pull it right in.
Yeah, and the other thing that really stands out to me is the strands, the rounds, because so often we get fluorite where it's all, just kind of a one sick color on the whole strand. Time is up. Let's see who got in time.
This one's going to be close.
It's going to be really close. You need help, Alexis? Oh, she got it. Really? No.
I'm not too sure about that one.
Nope, nope, nope.
Okay.
Okay.
I was going to say, I was watching it too. Yeah, so. And I will check the replay on this, and if we're wrong, I do have one more of these fluorite stones. So if we made a mistake, whoever is okay.
That one was so tight.
So we're announcing Giddy as the winner, but I will watch the replay and we'll see, make sure that that's the way it should have played out. So Giddy
Okay.
is 63.
We have one stone left, and this one's kind of unique because this is not a gemstone. This is dichroic glass made by an artist here, I think, local to us.
Well, Giddy wouldn't have been the winner. It would have been Ursula.
Ursula, I know.
Giddy, I have announced you as the winner. You're going to get this. Ursula, I'll send you an email and see if you want the second stone. I can do a duplicate dress-up bag. So allow for that, okay?
Oh, you got a text. I'm betting someone's saying yes. Okay, anyway, we have this dichroic glass. This obviously is man-made, and I'll let Debbie explain her reasoning here. But it's just so multi-layered. I've started the timer. You want to talk about Brioni, which is an Irish name, which means bright and colorful meadow?
Okay, this is a dichroic glass, kind of halfway between lampwork and dichroic glass. It was handmade by a friend of mine here in this area. She does a lot of these handmade pendant beads, and then she goes to all these big expensive shows around the country to sell them. Well, she came into our studio one day and she gifted this along with a couple of others to me and told me that I can sell it and then I can donate the money that came from it to our children's orphanage. So this is kind of a unique pendant stone. They are one of a kind.
Okay, the accessory stones. We have 10 millimeter Z Tibetan agate rounds. These are obviously not natural Zs, which I don't think really exist.
They're natural agate out of Tibetan, and they make them look like those 3,000-year-old Z beads.
Yeah, which I think are all a farce anyway, but we'll go into that another time. Anyway, you've got 8 millimeter Botswana agate rounds as well. And then finally, a set of 6 millimeter Botswana agate rounds to go with it. So no 4s on this. The crystal discs on this are kind of, what you call that, just pale gold. And then a goldy brown on the 4x6s. And then you have these, and this is a kite cut. I think in my pictures I had it upside down, which we'll see in just a minute. But there is everything together. And inside the bag, we have, okay, the pendant on this, which is upside down, is a dandelion wish pendant. There are 2 dandelion blossoms inside this resin pendant with the bell on top, which is at the bottom. Up at the top, we have 4 chiastolite rectangles, which has this beautiful cross pattern. And then going counterclockwise, we have 6 Botswana agate coins, 12 millimeters in an A grade. And then we have 15 Amazonite, nuggets, which are 6 to 8 millimeters. And then continuing counterclockwise are 10 golden jade rondelles,